I was mocking Antonio Brown and his wild saga with the Raiders. He hasn't even played a game.
Yeah, who would have thought that the Pittsburgh Steelers had the steal of the season by giving up everything that they did? Because Antonio Brown is not worth the money. He is not worth the money and the drama. I mean, he's still a great player, but I don't care how good you are. I would just get so fed up dealing with this kind of personality.
It's really just started too. I feel like he hasn't been like that until like
hasn't taken a legitimate snap in in the regular season game, not preseason, a regular season. He's this much of a headache.
It really started with the Lego hair.
And when stupid mustache.
Yeah, the mustache was when it really... The mustache is like when Kanye dyed his hair blonde. They just... You hit a phase where
like
you think you're God.
It's like when Britney shaved her head. It's just a mental break. No, you're right. It's more Kanye.
It's a God complex from I'm the best at what I do. And I don't think he is the best receiver. And so I would not kowtow to Brown. I could think of 4 people that I think are better than him. Just Julio, OBJ, Hopkins and Thomas. Yeah,
possibly
Mike Evans.
I'm here for Adams.
Mike Evans, as bad as the Buccaneers are, Mike Evans is still a really good receiver.
Mike Evans is very good.
We're homers with Devontae Adams. But
scored most touchdowns in the last
he is a top 10, maybe top 5.
Mike Evans is the best thing about the Buccaneers offense. He has been for years.
That's saying something.
Yeah.
Your receiver should never be your best point.
Exactly.
That's my opinion.
We
about
need
a
quarterback,
team.
and Jameis needs... We're getting derailed again, because now I'm talking about the Buccaneers. But Antonio Brown... I can't believe he's this bad already.
What is going on with the frostbite? Like, it's just thing after thing after thing. I loved his kid asking, where's Roethlisberger, though, on Hard Knocks.
He's going to be asking that come week 2.
And he he says no, it's Derek Carr. Derek Carter? No, Derek Carr. It's like you maybe should have gone over things with him beforehand. If you want to bring him to practice to make a prop out of your child in front of the cameras, you should prep the kid.
So is it safe to say that AB is like the most hated player already?
I think that there's a lot of quiet smiles in Pittsburgh.
Oh yeah.
Of just people that happy,
especially Roethlisberger.
People happy to go to work with people that aren't causing drama.
Yeah.
The 2 headaches are gone. I don't think Le'Veon was as much headache as it was a financial.
It says a lot about Antonio Brown that he makes Ben Roethlisberger likable. Because I'm actually okay with Ben Roethlisberger and the Steelers now. I hope they're successful. Just because I dislike Antonio Brown that
within
much.
This context.
Yeah, within this context. In the game of football, not life, because Roethlisberger still sucks.
But I definitely think that the Raiders are going to have buyer's remorse. I don't think
they already do.
Well, they're definitely not going to get the production out of him that we have seen from Antonio Brown.
I think we said all we could say about that.
I still don't think it's going to matter who he's throwing it to. When you don't got a quarterback, it's pretty hard to make a receiver.
You don't believe in Derek Carr?
No.
He's never had a good offensive line, though. I like Derek Carr. I mean,
they've had a decent offensive line. I think,
first team All-Pro like 2 years ago.
with Amari Cooper,
Donald Penn, right? Yeah, that's just
Amari Cooper was terrible with
the Raiders. Are such it's the management. That's the problem with the Raiders. That is such the worst mismanaged team. Khalil Mack, Amari Cooper.
The Mack trade was just the red flag. What is going on here?
And why would you sign a coach to a 10-year, $100 million deal?
You take on Antonio Brown after getting rid of Khalil Mack as your ultimatum to your squad that we don't pay superstars.
Like, you're telling me you don't have money for Khalil Mack? You have money. You will clear that cap space.
He's as much, if not more, of a game changer than Antonio Brown.
He's probably the best player in the NFL.
He's surpassed Von Miller, I think, as the best linebacker.
Oh, definitely. But I think Khalil Mack's probably the best player in the NFL.
Individually, position-wise.
Individually.
If it wasn't for Aaron Rodgers' heroics, he single-handedly would have beat the Packers in the first game.
I'm an Aaron Donald guy.
Aaron Donald is very good.
But Khalil Mack had a strip sack. Didn't he have a touchdown in that game?
Yeah.
Yes, he did.
Pick six?
Pick six strip.
He had an interception, fumble recovery, and touchdown in the first half.
Yeah.
He pretty much, like I said, carried the Chicago Bears in that first game. If it wasn't for Aaron Rodgers, he would have won.
I almost turned it off at halftime, and they came back and had a stat that only one defensive player had ever done that before halftime before, and it was like Lawrence Taylor, just some wild stat that no one would ever be able to get, but he did it.
Yeah, I think it's not. Maybe AB is just a victim of the environment he's in, because you cannot tell me that the Oakland Raiders are a stable organization.
He left a better environment. He wanted
the Steelers,
to leave.
Yes, are a much better managed team than the Oakland Raiders, and I think when that kind of personality goes unchecked, it's just going to be terrible.
Right.
It's like Terrell Owens with the Philadelphia Eagles.
I think we all agree about that.